Before beginning, we request you please subscribe to this channel and share it among your friends and acquaintances. Your subscriptions will be a great help and encouragement. We have concluded the third episode with a question, and the question was, after doing Chittavritti Nirodha, or in the state at which the mind remains withdrawn from the senses and no more perceptions are allowed in, or better say, in the state of yoga, what is our nature and what do we really see? Sage Patanjali is ready with his concise and precise answer. Tada drashtu swarupe sthanam. Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. It's almost like saying, what else will you see when you have stopped looking outside and turned to your own self? Don't you see then who you really are? When the senses are no more perceiving their objects, the intellect, in whose hands mind is the rein to control the senses, turns within and dwells in its own nature. For a better understanding, let us look into the constituents to see the meaning of this sutram. And the words are Tada, Drashtuhu, Swarupe and Avasthanam. The word Tada means then, or at that time, etc. It refers to that time or the state at which the senses remain withdrawn and no more perceptions are allowed in. So, it means in the state of yoga. The word drashtuhu means of the person who sees or the seer. Compare it with mata, the mother, and matuhu, of the mother, or pita, the father, and pituhu, of the father, etc. Similarly, drashta, the seer, and drashtuhu, of the seer, or of the person who sees. The word swarupe means in one's own true nature. What is that? It's a natural question because the senses have been withdrawn and no more perceptions are allowed in. Let us understand it through a few examples. Assume that you have a pen in your hand. It's your own pen and you say, "This is my pen." Obviously, you are different from the pen. The pen belongs to you. It's a tool for you to write down your thoughts. Now, the pen is in your hand. It is your own hand, and you say, "It is my hand." Obviously, you are different from your hand. The hand belongs to you. It's a tool and part of your body that helps you do many things. Similarly, your entire body is a tool for you to live in that helps you do many things. Just as your pen is not you, your hand is not you, in the same way your body is not you, then who you are? Shall we take another example? Imagine a few glass bottles of different colors and sizes in which water is filled. The water assumes the shape and color of the bottles. Now, pour the water into a big vessel. Now the water assumes the color and shape of the big vessel, giving up the characteristics that the water exhibited while in the bottles. Now, we cannot differentiate the water that belonged to a particular bottle. Take another example. Imagine a few inflated balloons of different shapes and colors. The air within them is the same all-pervading air that causes them to expand. The moment the balloons are deflated, the air goes back into the all-pervading air and the balloons remain contracted. These examples show an apparent phenomenon of our body that is a mere transitory modification of the five gross elements which we are not. What are we then? And who we are? We are not what we see, hear, smell, taste or touch, but that within us which sees, hears, smells, tastes or touches through the senses. And that is our nature, within which we are aware of what we are not and what we really are. Avasthanam means existence or dwelling. So collectively, Tada drashtu swarupevasthanam means that in the state of yoga, the person remains or dwells in his true conscious nature. Now who is that person whom we call Drashta, Mr. X or Miss Y? And what is his true nature in which he exists? We generally address people using pronouns such as I, he, she and you etc. by looking at their body. And now, if we are not that body, then what are we? Let us take one more example, which is oft quoted by the Upanishads. Assume that you are traveling in a chariot driven by 5 horses, controlled by the charioteer using the reins. Now you are the passenger. The chariot is your body. Your intellect is the charioteer or the driver of the chariot. The set of straps or reins that the charioteer uses to control the horses take the role of the mind. The horses are your senses, and the visible path ahead through which the horses draw the chariot is the material world, which are sense objects. Ideally, you should have been a happy passenger, enjoying the ride, basking in the openness of the all-pervading sky, experiencing the soft velvet touch of the passing breeze, inhaling the exotic fragrance of the beauteous flowers, beholding the graceful nature, tasting the nectar of life. You should have been a hilarious traveler. But we forget the fact that we are in truth the passenger, and the chariot and other things are just tools and they do not belong to us. But we identify ourselves too much with these tools. All the good rides we enjoy oblivious of ourselves, and all the bad rides we dislike because our focus is on the chariot, on the charioteer, on the reins that are used to control the horses, on the horses and on the path ahead. Now imagine the conscious passenger who enjoys the ride and aware that he is only the passenger, who detaches himself from the chariot and remains as an observer, whom the Sutram calls Drashta. That is your true nature, and this is called Swarupa, in which you remain or you exist, which is mentioned as Avasthanam at the time of yoga or at Chittavritti Nirodha. Now there is a counter question. What if otherwise? If you don't do Chittavritti Nirodha, if you don't restrain the mind from its preoccupations through the senses, what is the harm? And sage Patanjali has his ready answer. Vritti sarupyam itaratra. Let us learn this in the next episode. Please stay tuned by subscribing to this channel. Also, please share it with your friends and acquaintances. Your subscriptions will be a great help and encouragement.